guys? OddEYES Lumia here today, and I have a sweet little deck feature for your viewing pleasure. So first and foremost, this deck is insane. The amount of support that we got in Bt12 for Imperialdramon is insane. And the best part about it is its budget. I could see this deck easily being a tier 1 to 1.5 deck, like hands down. Like, it's kind of insane how well it like synergizes with the new cards and the old cards. One thing I didn't like about the old Imperial is it's had a hard time bricking, and it felt like it didn't want to go off the way you wanted it to go off half the time. Well, the new cards kind of fix that situation all around. So we're going to go over it today and what I think is going to be a fantastic deck going forward in the Bt12 format for new players and old players alike. So let's go ahead and get into this. For our eggs, we have switched it up. We are running Digimon, but we are not running the Bt2 Digimon anymore. We are running the Bt12. If you have a green Digimon in play, draw one card from your deck. So it feels like, why are we not running the Bt2? Well, the Bt2 is fantastic because of all the jamming shenanigans that we'd run. You know, we have the XVmon, we have the Vmon, and stuff like that. Well, this deck goes off just as hard and just as fast, but we don't run the jamming Vmon or the jamming XVmon because the XVmon we got in Bt12 is, in my opinion, just better. So we run 4 of those, draw a card if you have a green Digimon in play. Go over to the rookies. We run 4 of the new Vmon. On play, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck and add 1 Digimon card with Imperialdramon in its name for free in its traits, and 1 Tamer card with Davis Mochimochi in its name from among them to your hand, and place the rest in the bottom of the deck in any order. At the end of turn, you may DNA Digivolve this Digimon into one of your other Digimons. You may DNA Digivolve this Digimon and one of your other Digimon into play in your hand by paying its cost, its Digivolution cost. So, DNA Digivolution cost. So, we just have an inheritably better end of turn DNA effect, and also it's a searcher, which is absolutely fantastic because finding a searcher to search out our Davises is kind of crucial, and it's super nice to actually have one. And then we'll go into our Vmon from Starter Deck 8. We still run this one over the EX1 Vmon. There are arguments to run the EX1 Vmon, but I felt like the drawing Vmon was just better in every scenario that I tested. And we don't care about your turn effect, but if you have 7 or fewer cards in your hand, draw 1 card. This deck will easily draw you 6 to like 7 cards a turn. It is stupid, and you can draw into all your pieces and just go insane. So we run 4 of that. We run 4 of the Vmon. Reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 Digimon with free and its traits among them to your hand, and place the remaining into on the bottom of the deck in any order, just more search power. And you know, is the best dragon, best mini dragon. And then, so that is our rookie lineup. There are arguments to run the new Wormmon. Personally, I run more Davis than I do any of the Kenny Chijoji cards, so I felt like this was just better to run in this package. So then we go to our champions. We run 4 of the new XVmon. This card is absolutely insane. 4 cost 4,000. You know, that's solid. Like, just in general, it is your turn when your Digimon would DNA Digivolve into a green Digimon, gain 1 memory. So not only are you DNA Digivolving, but now you're gaining memory in this deck, which is something I don't feel like the deck really needed, but you know, we're gonna get it anyways, I guess. It just makes it more consistent, way easier to pop off on the turn, and with the new Dragon mode, it's quite insane what this deck can do. So for those, we run 1 Kumamon for our hybrid for game. It also has a decent 1 Digivolving effect, trash 1 Digivolution cards from the bottom of your opponent's Digimon. So we're fine with that. Get down into our other champions. We're running 2 of the new Stingmon. 1 this Digimon with DNA Digivolve into a blue Digimon card, gain 1 memory. Once again, like, if you DNA those 2 together, you're gaining 2 memory when you evolve into Imperialdramon, making it super easy to go into Dragon mode or even leave your choke your opponent's memory. It's just a fantastic card in my opinion. I only run it as a 2 of though because I still am a big believer in the old Stingmon because we run a lot of blue. Being able to on play a level 4 for 3 is just still very strong, and then the not once per turn draw effect is kind of insane. But this Stingmon does give piercing to any free or Imperialdramon in its when it's in its traits. Sorry. but we'll go to the effect your turn. While this Digimon has Imperialdramon in its name or free in its traits, gain piercing. When this Digimon attacks, deletes an opponent's Digimon. So you know you're eating you're like eating your opponent's Digimon. You've got jamming. You're hitting for piercing. Like, it's insane. I haven't even gotten into the ultimates yet. And then, you know, in my opinion, it's still one of the best Stingmons to be ever printed. When you play this card from your hand, if you have a blue Digimon in play, reduce its cost by 1. And when attacking, if you have a blue Digimon in play, draw 1 card from your deck. Not once per turn. So super easy to draw. We're going to go kind of backwards on my ultimates because I want to go over the Imperialdramon from Bt12 last. But we're going to go over the first one, which is Dino B. This card, holy crap. They made a good Dino B, and I'm like super stoked about it. So DNA Digivolve from a level 4 and a level green, a level 4 blue, a level 4 green. And then when Digivolving, one DNA Digivolving, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon, and this Digimon gets plus 3,000 DP for the turn. Then this Digimon can attack your opponent's Digimon. So that alone is pretty fantastic because you suspend one of your opponent's Digimon, and now you're able to run it over for 11k. And if you have the Stingmon and the XVmon in your sources, you've gotten jamming and piercing, so you're essentially taking care of board control while swinging into security, which I think is insane. And then your turn, once per turn, when your Digimon with Imperialdramon or free in its traits deletes one of your opponent's Digimon by battle, trash the top card of the security stack. What? Imperial's got trashing, guys, and it's kind of insane. So I'm like, the reason I'm running is a 2-of split of the new Bt12 is just because the old Imperialdramon is just still so freaking fantastic. Just being able to double swing, get double draws, draw into your combo pieces super fast. That's why we still run him as a 4-of. You can definitely mess with the ratios. That's one thing I absolutely love about the new support is the fact that we do have the ability to mess with the ratios. It's not just 4 and 2 or 4 and the Chimera or like, you know, and I think that's just a fantastic addition in the Bt12 set. But yeah, you know, when Digivolve, return when your opponent's Digimon with 6,000 DP or less to the bottom of its owner's deck, it's blocker hate, which is absolutely fantastic. And then when attacking, unsuspend this Digimon once per turn, so you get double draws off your Stingmons, your Egg, your Vmon. Those both are once per turn, but the Stingmon is not. So you can draw up to 4 cards just on that one swing, which is absolutely insane. Not to mention, if you DNA Digivolved using the XVmon, you gain a memory, putting you at like a safe amount of memory, and it's just insane how fast and like control heavy this deck can be, and aggro at the same time. Like it's crazy. Like you can kind of choose which way you need to go depending on what the lines look like. So go over to the new Imperialdramon, and the reason we run this still is when Digivolve traps the top 3 Digivolution cards of all your opponent's Digimon. That is all, guys, all. Then when DNA Digivolving, 2 of your opponent's Digimon with no Digivolution cards can't attack until the end of the turn. So you literally blue hybrid lock them, you know, for their following turn. So they have to, you know, figure out something. It can save you in a pinch, and I still think it's really fantastic. And then the end of attack effect is if this Digimon has Imperialdramon in its name, free in its traits, gain 1 memory. I still think that's absolutely fantastic. So we run it as a 2-of. You could definitely mess with it, maybe do 1 Imperialdra, 3 Dino B, and 4 Imperialdra, but I still think 4 Imperialdra is just where it's at. Okay, time to go over the new big boy. This card is insane. I am so excited to go over this, actually. So, 1, Digivolve 3 from Imperialdra or Dino B. So it's a 3 cost to Digivolve, which is absolutely fantastic. When Digivolving, if a blue card is in this Digimon's resolution cards, unsuspend this Digimon. So, say you went into the Dino B, you swung Piercing, you just deleted that, and then you evolve into this because you have enough memory. You go into, you unsuspend this, and then, if a green card is this Digivolution card, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. You can run over another Digimon, trash the security, pierce. Like, it's insane. And then end of attack, you may Digivolve this Digimon into a card with Imperialdramon in its name from your hand with the Digivolution cards. Cost, when this Digimon would Digivolve by this effect, reduce its cost by 2. You go into fighter mode for free. Like, what? It is insane. Like, I was running this as a 3-of in my original testing and stuff, but I realized that there was a lot of times I would actually like to see the starter deck Imperialdramon, so I decided to run it as a 2-2 split, and I'm liking it more this way. Now we'll go ahead and go into the other Imperialdramon. It's just, you know, the regular Imperialdramon from the starter deck being able to spam the board and potentially go into more combo pieces. It's super fantastic. Still being able to draw up an insane amount of cards because you put the 2 sources that you need to set up, maybe gain some extra memory. It's pretty insane. Like, personally, it's still a fantastic card to be running in Imperial, and it doesn't feel nearly as bricky as it did in the last deck. Now, we'll go over our fighter modes. We are running one of the new fighter modes, Arguments. You can run this as a 2 of. Personally, I like it as a 1 of split. Digivolve 2 from Imperialdramon Dragon Mode. When digivolving, suspend all your opponent's Digimon with no Digivolution cards, so return one of your opponent's suspend Digimon to the owner's by returning 1 Imperial Dragon Mode from this Digimon cards to the owner's hand. Return all your opponent's suspended Digimon to the bottom of their owner's deck instead. So, no need for a Nidhoggmon anymore. We don't need it. Like, we literally got a Nidhoggmon in a fighter mode, which is insane. We have a pseudo Hexablaumon in Imperialdramon. Like, the new support is insane. And then you get over here and all turns when this Digimon gets 1000 DP for each of its colors, while this Digimon has 2 or more colors in its digital cards that gain security, attack +1, and blocker. So you're swinging, you're potentially unsuspending, like, it's crazy. Like, and it gives you blocker. Like, so, yeah, it's quite insane. I wish, for instance, this said all turns, because you know how spicy that would be to just block something and trash the security. So we still do run one of the Imperialdramon from the BT8, just because the OTK potential is real. Not only is it free to digivolve on the new Dragon mode, but it still bounces 10,000 DP, which I do believe the new Hunter boss monster is a 10,000 DP. Then when attacking once per turn, if the blue card is in this Digivolution cards, unsuspend one of your Digimon, so you unsuspend fighter mode, potentially swing, you know, double time. And if a green card is in the Digivolution card, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon, so potentially, you know, doing more damage, and with the piercing, hitting more security, it's quite insane. But we'll talk about the options here in a minute. We're going to go over Omnimon. I think this is the play. I don't think Paladin mode is really worth playing because we have Fighter mode, and Fighter mode does pretty much the same thing. But with all the trashing decks like Beelzemon and Beelstarmon, I think that Omnimon Merciful mode is the way to go because being able to sack 10 cards from their trash to the bottom of their deck in any order could really screw up Beelzemon play and or Beelstar play, and I think that's going to be super strong going forward. Trash the top card of your Digimon. Oh, then you have the start of the turn and trash the top card of this Digimon. If you do, trash the top card of your opponent's security stack, potentially go for game. So definitely think Merciful mode is the play for our level 7 slot. Now we're just going to go over the Tamers. We'll go over the options here in a minute. The new Davis kind of makes this whole deck possible. It's kind of insane. It's like a pseudo-X antibody. Start your main phase. If you have a Digimon with free and its traits are Tamer with Ken, Ichijoji in play, gain 1 memory. So what's really cool is if you have Davis and Ken in play and Davis Motomiya, you gain 3 memory. If you have, like, say, a green or blue Digimon in play, like, potentially, which is kind of insane. But what we really care about is your turn. When one of your 2 color blue-green Digimon attacks by suspending this Tamer, you may Digivolve it into a Digimon with Imperialdramon and its name in your hand for its Digivolution cost, making it super spicy, going to super spicy plays like, for instance, if you were to go, let's see, Swing Pyldra or Dino B, doesn't really matter, but when you swing with those and evolve into Imperialdramon Dragon mode, it unsuspends, but it still activates the end of attack effect. Therefore, you can evolve it into fighter mode, and then swing with fighter mode, unsuspend fighter mode, swing. Like, it's just, there's some insane plays with the new Davis, and I think that's why this deck is going to be quite insane going forward. Also, you can definitely mess with the ratios. Personally, I liked it at 2 Davis, 3 Motomiya. You have enough search power in the deck, you can pretty much see all of it. We run, for our options, 2 Megadeth. That's kind of self-explanatory. The card is still absolutely insane for a 5 cost. Pretty much remove anything. 4 Hammer Spark, and 1 Ice Wall. We do not run Blue Memory Boost because in testing, I felt like Blue Memory Boost, it wasn't so much that it whiffed, it just felt like I always wanted Hammer Spark in the certain combos when I was swinging and drawing and stuff like that, drawing into my pieces. Hammer Spark was just more, Hammer Spark was just more a optimal play, in my opinion, than Blue Memory Boost. And yeah, the 1 Ice Wall. So we technically have, you know, 7 security bombs, on top of the deck just being able to do what it does. So yeah, guys, that is the deck. I hope you guys give it a try. I hope you enjoy it. And one thing I absolutely do love about this is its budget. So new players getting into the game, I definitely recommend you give this deck a try. You can mess with the rookie ratios, obviously put some Modeki Venomons in to mess with memory. You don't have to run the hybrid if you don't want to. Like, there are definitely ways you can definitely mess with this deck, but I still think this deck is going to give some people a run for their money, and they're not going to see it coming. So if you guys know any likes TCGs, tell them to hit my channel, give this video a like, subscribe, and I shall see you next time. OddEYES Lumia out.